Chapter 9, Flower Festival. A dark cloud seems to follow you as you rise and ready for the day, despite the cheery sun shining into the kitchen. The red gem in the well was a piece of Kieran's heart, and now lives in me. You frown at the plate of food in front of you, remembering how the gem dissipated into the red mist and sank into you, and then you suddenly realize someone's calling your name.
Ella, my dear, is anything the matter?
Oh, I'm just lost in thought, I suppose. You have the look of a sapling withering in the sun, child. What is it that muddles your thoughts so? You pause to think a moment, wondering how much to reveal. Prince Kieran is allowing me to help him recover the lost pieces of his heart. I was wondering, what if something else finds the pieces first?
It has happened several times. The heart pieces want to be whole again, so they seek to join with the heart of any living being that touches them.
We can't tell the difference from the outside, of course, but the beast always knows.
It can sense them somehow, and is rather determined to get them back.
It kills them?
Alas, such a sad fate for those poor creatures, but the beast is single-minded in its intent to hunt down every last piece.
It is just as well. We've yet to uncover any means to remove the heart piece from a creature without killing it. Has a heart piece ever entered a person, one of fae or human? Not as of yet, thank goodness. It may not even be possible. Why do you say that?
Animals do not close off their hearts the way people do, my dear. That's why the heart pieces can enter them so easily. It would take someone very special indeed, very open-hearted, to absorb one of the heart pieces by accident.
Why, it took Prince Kieran years to learn how to invite the pieces of his own heart back into himself. Sir Montgomery and Longclaw go back to their meal, but your stomach is so knotted with worry that you find yourself unable to eat anymore. Sounds like you were right, Papa. My kind, silly heart has gotten me into a load of trouble. I have to tell them I haven't a hope of working this out on my own. You take a deep breath, steeling yourself, when suddenly Kieran sweeps into the kitchen. Ella, I know where to find the next heart piece. His gaze greets you with a newfound, intimate knowledge, and you look away, warmth flooding through you. He extends one graceful hand to you, an invitation. Swallowing hard, you accept it, and he pulls you to your feet. Akari's hope blooms today, and we must attend. Akari's hope? What's that? Deep in the woods lives a creature, a rare one, a vine, that grows on the oldest trees. It blooms but once every 10 years. The flowers are named for an ancient Fey knight who searched 10 years to find her love who was lost at sea. One Fey gathered from every distant corner of the realm to witness and celebrate the event. I will need you there by my side. A Fey festival sounds romantic. He gives you a sly smirk, his voice husky. Is that what's on your mind? Then the impish smile drops away. It rather is, in fact, but I need you to stay focused, for there is something at the festival which should help us. The flower festival already? Why, I could have sworn it just passed.
I do love the festival. When the blooms fall, young lovers catch them to give them as gifts to their beloved. There's also dancing, performers, a bazaar. You'll love it, Ella. It sounds wonderful, if you're certain I'm not needed here.
Go, my dear, go! You are young but once.
It's true. You rush upstairs to get ready, stopping short when you see a gorgeous tangle of shimmering flowers on your bed. Upon closer inspection, you discover that the flowers are woven into clothing, complete with matching headdress. Besides them lies a note.
Ella, it is once a tradition for Fey royalty to wear garments woven from Akari blossom when attending the festival. Such whimsical garments do not suit me, but I thought they might look pleasing on you.
Kieran got these for me?
Though it takes a moment to work out how to don the strange clothing, you soon find yourself staring at the reflection in wonder.
If only young Ella could see me now attending a Fey festival on the arm of a prince.
It's like all my childhood dreams come true. Lavender blue is what it's called, I guess. Beautiful dress made from flesh blooms, perfect for a flower festival. You look yourself over in the mirror and can't help but smile at your reflection. It's like I stepped out of a storybook page. Outside, Kieran catches sight of you, and a slow, quiet smile spreads across his face. Have you ever heard a noisy smile? Ella, you look pleasing. And just like that, the smile's gone, replaced by Kieran's practiced indifference, but you catch him glancing at you as you get into the carriage. After a short journey, you step outside of the carriage into a glade of ethereal beauty filled with fey spectacles of all shapes and colors. Look, fire dancers. Oh, and there's a magical menagerie. You take a few steps towards it, but Kieran catches your arm. Don't wonder. It's likely a few members of the Sun Court will be here to partake in the festival. You think I'm in danger from them? Perhaps not, but still, I would rather keep you close. Above the hustle and bustle is a canopy of ancient gnarled trees. Vines snake up their tree trunks and weave through their branches, adorning them with dozens of dark, intricate blooms that glow with inner light. Goodness, now I understand why this is worthy of an entire festival. The perfume wafts on a gentle breeze, a scent that tickles the back of your mind, at once otherworldly and aching familiar. The smell is heavenly. What is it? The flower's perfume differs for everyone. Whatever scent you find most enticing, that is what you will perceive. Watermelon. Nice cool rain on a hot summer day. I'm serious. Like, there's a lot of things. You're gonna have to give me a minute. He gives you a sidelong look, gentle voices at odds with his piercing eyes. Coffee. Oh god, coffee. How do they smell to you, Ella? They smell like sea air and rain. Pine trees and roaring fire. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. You. Alright, fine. His dark eyes bore into yours and your breath catches in your throat. I see. Why? What do you smell? What do they smell like to you? He's silent for a moment, an expression unreadable. I'm afraid since the curse, nothing at all. Oh, I'm sorry. It's no matter. One can hardly miss what one can't recall. Now to business. If we aren't here to enjoy the festivities, what are we here for? I believe the heart piece I'm seeking is near the top of the mountain of beasts. I suppose it's too much to hope that the beasts are friendly? They are not. However, there are a charm maker of some renown who sells her wares at the festival. She can craft us an amulet to protect you from the beasts. And what about you? Do you not need protection? He looks at you sideways and you swear there's a wry twinkle in his glance. Remember, he's immortal. I suppose you will have to look after me, As you may recall, my transformation is not immediate. For an hour or so after moonrise, I am something between Fae and Beast. How does that help us? If we time it right, we will be able to fly us both to the mountain and back again before the full transformation occurs. Thus, together we will recover the final piece of my heart. Why do you need her? If she touches it, it goes into her. If you touch it, it goes into you. Why do you need her? The last piece? How can you be so sure it's last? I simply feel it. My instincts say the others have all returned to me. Lately, I seem to feel the curse's hold on me weakening. His gaze slides over to you and holds you captive. I have fleeting moments of sensation. He gazes down at his hands and flexes his fingers a few times. Moments where I almost remember what it was like to... Right. Your heart thuds, and you wonder guiltily if he can hear it, but he's busy looking around the festivities. It seems we're a bit early. The sailors are still setting up their stalls, and I don't see the charm maker yet. Come, we'll wait in the carriage until the festival begins in earnest. Excuse me, definitely not. You gesture at yourself with a flourish and pointed look. I didn't get all dressed up to sit in the carriage. You loop your arm through his. Come on, you spend all your time alone in the quiet, empty palace. We're here in this beautiful place, surrounded by all the wonders of Fae. One might almost think we're on a date. He hesitates, and you wonder if you've gone too far. Then a reluctant smile briefly brightens his features. I suppose you're right. He leans in, his voice low and teasing in your ear. Though for the record, I could show you plenty of Fae wonders in a carriage. You suppress a shiver. Memories of the day before flooding your senses. Kieran pulls away with a knowing smirk. Very well then. Where should you like to explore first? Let's check out I was hoping carriage. Take him up on his offer, you know. Vendors, Menagerie, magical circus. Why not? The circus is already in full swing, a riot of chaos, color, various acts playing simultaneously on multiple stages. I've never seen a magical circus before. In fact, I've never seen any sort of circus before. Makes two of us. Kieran speaks in your ear to be heard above the ruckus. Which act do you most want to see? I want to watch the magic act. A fae dressed in glittering, gossamer robe soon enthralls your attention. You'll hold your breath, eager for a display of real magic. She summons a flame in the palm of her hand, letting it dance and flicker and swirl into animal shapes that seem to take a life of their own. That's amazing. Can all Fae do this? Most have powers to do so, but few have artistry. With a breath, the fire bursts into an explosion of flower petals that fly towards the crowd and rain softly onto you as snowflakes. You hold out your hand and the snow melts on your palm, leaving droplets of glitter where they fall. You can't help but laugh in sheer pleasure. Watch, the show isn't over yet. The magician swirls her hands, summoning glowing lights like fireflies in every hue. The lights assemble into shapes of animals, a hare, a stag, a wolf. Animals flit through the crowd, shifting from one to the next in a dazzling display of color. I've never seen anything like this before. The sparks return to the magician, who sends them hurling into the crowd where they burst into flowery sparks directly above your heads. Let's check out the vendors. You stroll together past the stalls, crowded with all manner of wares, eyes going large as dinner plates trying to take it all in. Lucky charms, necklaces of spider silk, dewdrops. Why would anyone need whole jars of dragonfly wings? You'd be surprised. Wait, did that sign say human hair scarves? He takes your elbow and leads you away from a few devious-looking merchants. Come, you'll find the food much more to your liking. You follow the scent of honey-roasted vegetables to a section set aside for food sellers. Kieran gestures broadly to the variety of options. Take your pick. Anything here should be safe for you. Anything? Those are eyes, dude. Mushroom skewer, sugar flowers. Listen, I'm gonna eat the eyeballs. The baker grins and gingerly hands you a leaf containing 2 soft purple confections dusted with gold. They're eyeballs, okay? Let's not sugarcoat this. Beautiful. You bite into it, and the buttery soft cake melts over your tongue, bursting with the sweetness and hint of lavender. It makes sense now. All the stories of human who try Fae food and never wish to return to the human world. Perhaps it isn't enchantment. Your food is just that good. He sneaks a glance at you as you eat, a smile twisting at his mouth. I'm glad you like it. A flash of bright color swoops up from above. The leaf alights on your wrist with a magical or musical trill.
Defender of the leaf, you still serve Raven Prince?
Oh, yes, Hello's still in my service. Leaf gives him a haughty glance and then nips impatiently at your fingers.
You save no food for Leaf.
I'm more than happy to share. You offer a bit of your food to her, which she swallows in one gulp. You stroke her downy head, and she warbles happily. Did you come to see the flowers, too?
No, Bird Court has own festival. Feast of many bugs. Much better than this.
She flaps her wings indignantly, and you notice how the canopy above is alive with colorful songbirds twittering cheerily and flitting in the midair. Ah, of course, the flowers must lure insects in droves.
Must go. Can't begin feast without King of Birds.
She trills a few notes in parting and flies back to her aerial kingdom. I do not understand your fascination with that creature.
You have ravens, I have leaf.
This is true. Menagerie. Strange hoots and wild chattering sounds call to you near the center of the festival. Giddy, you approach arm in arm with Kieran. A charismatic minotaur grins ferociously before an eclectic assortment of creatures you've never beheld before.
Step right up, but don't get too close. Set your eyes upon creatures from across the wildlands and distant isles of Fae.
A fluffy cat-like creature with feathers instead of fur perches nearby. It blinks its large, intelligent eyes at you. Ah, hello there, aren't you lovely?
That's Peregrine. That is clever little tricksters. Go ahead, you can pet her.
You scratch the downy white feathers beneath her chin, and her eyes close happily as she purrs. A scaly pink-purple ferret with golden eyes slithers up to a perch and chitters at you. Oh, hey! The Void Book, yeah. I wonder where you went off to. Then a spurt of water comes out of nowhere, hitting you in the face. Kieran steps nimbly out of the way, smirking.
What was that?
You turn to see what can only be described as an adorable baby kraken floating in a nearby tank. Listen, we know what that is. That's baby Cthulhu. It waves its tiny tentacles above the surface, trying to get your attention.
If you'd like, you can feed one of them. For a small fee, of course.
You glance at Kieran hopefully, and he sighs, long suffering. Very well. Oh, shit. Listen! As tempting as Peregrine is. Listen! All hail! You acquire a few pieces of fresh, salty fish from the menagerie owner, and approach the Kraken's tank, dark and smelling of brine. Would you like some fish, little one? You dangle the bait over the top of the water, and in a blink, one curling tentacle shoots up and grabs it before stuffing it into its beaked mouth. Makes one thankful not to live by the seaside, does it not? As you offer it another fish, the Kraken abruptly brightens in a rainbow of color and squirts you playfully, drenching you both. Did it have to soak us? It was just saying hello, and maybe thank you. Thank you for bringing me here. I feel as though I've entered one of the storybooks I can read as a child, and you wanted to wait in the carriage. Indeed, I am finding this more tolerable than I imagined. You glance at Kieran to see if he is as enthralled as you are as the magic all around you. But he isn't looking at the festival, he's staring at you. A small, wondering smile tugs at his mouth. Seeing the world as you do, Ella, even the most mundane is made magical in your eyes. You continue exploring as the walkways grow lively, bustling with merry creatures in outlandish dresses, some carrying swords or playing musical instruments. Oh, Kieran, look! But as you turn, you realize you've lost him in the crowd. As you look around and about for his familiar form, your eyes alight on a booth tucked into the far corner of the fair. An unassuming sign pinned to the front reads, "Amulets, Charms, and Protective Enhancements." This must be the one we're looking for. You duck into the booth, squinting a little into the dim light. Hello, are you the one to come to for protective amulets? You pause, looking around in confusion as you realize that you stand not in a fabric tent, but a quaint sitting room with worn wooden floorboards and peeling wallpaper. An old fey woman with skin like a tree bark sits hunched in a plush leather armchair, tinkering some complex mechanical device in her lap.
Oh, that's me. I'm afraid these old roots aren't as spry as they once were. I have to bring the festival to me nowadays. I'm looking for something to protect me from the beasts of the mountains. Simple enough. What do you offer in payment?
It's a tree. It's a tree person. You chew your lower lip, realizing too late that you don't have any money. What will you take? The woman taps her chin with one long, gnarled finger.
Something small will do. I will trade you the color of your hair.
my hair, I'm afraid I can't part with that.
Oh, your luck for a week.
I think I might need my luck right now, sorry.
Fine then, what do you have to offer?
I will trade you a poem.
That will do. Go on then.
You think of your favorite poem, one you'd memorized when you were very small, and recite it. As you finish, though, you feel it fading from your mind. I can't remember it anymore. The charm maker chuckles darkly as she opens jars whose contents you probably don't look too closely at.
It's mine now. You traded it away, after all.
The charm maker retrieves a few things from the shelf beside her chair and sets about assembling your amulet, muttering into a strange tongue you don't understand. In no time at all, she presents a glowing pink stone trapped in a delicate cage hanging from a leather cord. This will protect me?
So long as you wear this, beasts will turn from you like rats from a flame.
Well, perfect. Thank you. You hurry out of her stall with the pendant wrapped in a cloth and safely stowed in your pocket. You spot Kieran almost immediately his back to you. Prince Kieran, I got the protection amulet. You hurry to him only to stop short when you see the Fays talking now. Lustry grins maliciously as she trails her fingers down his arm. You can't hear what she's saying, but the lascivious gleam in her eyes is all too plain. What is she doing here? You watch her eyes flick over to you, narrowing when mischievous glee. Hot rage blooms inside you, burning in your chest like a forged fire. As you come closer, she cradles Kieran's cheek tenderly in her hand. Anyone who didn't know better would think they were lovers.
My poor darling, it would be terrible knowing you will never be able to love anyone as you loved me. Do you miss me still? Do you cry out at the night, all alone in that big bed?
She grins wickedly and leans in to kiss Kieran's cheek before flouncing back to you.
He's all yours, human. What's left of him, anyway?
You. He whirls around, eyes widening a fraction as he catches sight of you. Whatever you just saw, Ella, it was not what you think. Kieran, what am I supposed to think? I know I have no claim on you, but my lord, she nearly killed me at the hunt. Ella, he steps forward, reaching for you, but you shake your head vehemently. Just tell me what she means to you, please. Why does it matter? I thought you said he didn't claim you, and vice versa. He sighs heavily, a deep, terrible emptiness looming behind his dark eyes. She is the one I courted over a century ago. The princess who tried to off you. Who broke your heart. She's the reason you're cursed. Yes, and she was thrown in the dungeons of the Sun Court for 100 years for her crime. The day we met her at the hunt, that was the first time I'd seen her since that night. But you did love her once. Yes. You didn't tell me, I'm sorry, I just assumed. Your heart races along with your thoughts and you feel the frozen voice choking off as an emotional bubble inside of you. Frustrated tears blur your vision. You can't stay here, you just can't. You turn away from him and run. Ella, wait. You ignore him, rushing blindly away, as the riot of festival noise, dodging fae who shout after you, until you escape into the quiet woods beyond. Stupid, stupid Ella. They were together a century ago, it's over between them. So why does it feel as if I'm being torn in two? Probably because you have a piece of his heart inside of you. The familiar way she touched Kieran flashes painfully in your mind. You think of her grace, her power, her otherworldly beauty. How could I ever have thought myself worthy of the affections of a Fey prince? A mortal like me could never hope to compare with someone like her. You crash through the undergrowth until you can no longer see through the blur of tears, finally stopping in a peaceful grove lit from above by the magical blooms. Kieran comes rushing into the clearing behind you, but you can't run anymore. You turn quickly away, hiding your emotion. Ella, You hear his soft footfalls in the moss as he approaches you. I know there isn't anywhere I can go where you can't find me, but could you just please leave me be? Tell me what I did to upset you. I just need a moment. I want to be alone. Please, just leave. His voice drops low, and you realize how close he is now, standing behind you. Is that truly what you wish? If you will not speak to me, then simply listen. I did not tell you about her because I preferred to forget her existence entirely. His voice is a growl, and he takes an unsteady breath to calm himself. And because I am not accustomed to sharing such things with anyone, let alone a human, grasps your shoulders and turns you to face him. Tell me one thing. Do you still love her? You can't help it. You have to know. It certainly didn't look like you hated her. A dangerous shadow crosses his face, and for a moment you're unsure if you've gone a step too far. No, I have no capacity to love anyone, let alone her. Whatever I once thought was between us was merely fiction. Ella, you know I cannot lie, so hear this. I want you, Ella, you and no other. You really? His eyes blaze with an intensity that's hard to meet. You take an unconscious step back and he advances. Ever since I met you in that grove, I have an overwhelming need to possess you, to claim you entirely as mine alone. Because I carry a piece of your heart, that's what draws you. You swallow nervously, trying to summon the courage to tell him the truth, when he charges onward in a fevered rush. I spent a century caring little for anyone or anything, and yet my desire for you has overtaken me. I thought, but I was sure... You inhale sharply. The tumultuous inside you tightens to a pointed, keening ache, your body inflamed at his words. Seeing you that night lit a fire that has only grown to consume everything in its path. I could not let you leave. My reputation for selfish cruelty is well earned, as you've surely seen by now. His eyes bore into yours, his gaze full of desire. Something about you brings forth all my darkest impulses. But you are innocent in this, and I must make amends. Kieran? His breathing is labored, as if he struggles to maintain composure. For all the numerous ways I have misused you, Ella, I apologize. You're sorry? That isn't good enough. Words without action are meaningless. Believe me, few understand this better than I. But, so let me show you. His voice drops to a murmur, his expression stormy and unreadable. What the devil are you doing to me, Ella? His hand drifts to the charm that binds you to him, fingertips ghosting over your throat. What are you doing? You suddenly are very aware of every shallow breath, silently pleading for more of his touch. This will allow me to track you, true, but it is also imbued with the most potent protection spells I know. So long as you wear it, you are safe from all curses and enchantments that are within my power to oppose. Kieran, I didn't know. So, all this time... Even if you are not with me, as long as you wear this, you are safe from harm. His lips move silently as his thumb circles over the charm. A flare of white light swirls upward, and then fades like frosted breath. And now you are the only one who may remove it. You can leave, and this charm will keep you safe. You're releasing me? His hand drops from you, and he turns away. Yes. But why? Because I can no longer live with this pain that I bring you, because I would see you happy, because... A saucer-sized bloom breaks from its bow and floats like a feather on the breeze, catching both of your gazes. He stretches out a hand, beckoning it towards him with a gust of wind to catch it in midair. He stares at it a moment and then gently takes your hand and places the flower in your palm. You're giving me this, but that means... You gaze at each other as he cups your hand around the bloom and turn away from you with a great effort of will. I do not understand myself as of late. The things I want from you torment me. I am certainly not a man who restrains himself from what I want, but you do not deserve to be trapped in an empty palace with a broken, heartless man. Your heart swells with a sudden surge of emotion. Alone in the clearing magical blooms glow all around you. Something powerful and intense takes hold. And you make a decision. Kieran, I'm not going anywhere. What? You stroke his cheek with a trembling hand, unable to resist the urge to touch him. I want you to. A broken heart and all. You pull him to you, heart galloping out of control as you tilt your chin to meet him. Ella. As your lips finally meet, it's like a dam is broken. He kisses you with sudden hunger, as though to consume your body and soul, all reserve thrown to the wind. Needing air, you tear yourself away. He brings his forehead to yours, thumb reverently tracing your bottom lip. I have tormented myself with dreams of these lips. You have. I thought I tortured you in other ways. He gives you a wicked grin. Oh, you have. He tilts your head to meet him again, exploring your mouth with abandon. He kisses you breathless, murmuring against your lips. Ella, I want more of you, all of you. He grips your clothing as he means to rip them off, and you find you are doing the same. Both of you swept away on the same tide. Oh boy. Here we go! Remember, if it gets too... we're gonna have to, cut it short. Kieran takes you in his arms, kissing the breath from you. Insatiable, ravenous, until you must gasp for air. Ella... I just needed to breathe. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. You crash together again, his lips coaxing yours to part for him. Ella, I must see you. Instantly, you feel his hands descend to your clothing. The flowers of your festival attire magically at his touch, falling away from you in a jewel-bright cascade until you're bared before him. Oh. He pauses, gazing at you with such intensity that you self-consciously move to cover yourself. Why do you hide yourself from me? I don't know. Modesty is a word. I'm just not used to be staring at like that. Perhaps this will help. With one sweep of his arm, his clothing disappears as well. I feel like I'm in a 90s AOL RP session. He takes off his wizard hat and robes. Standing before you in all of his glory, Kieran is about that much more breathtaking and imposing. You feel yourself go a little lightheaded. Yes. Like Bruce Lee, but with falcon ears. If you could disrobe that easily, why bother inviting me to dress you that once? There's a wicked, predatory gleam in his eyes that shoots straight to your core. My poor innocent Ella, why do you think? He bears you to the ground, a little at a time, until your back rests against the soft moss. He traps you beneath him, your hands anchoring to the ground, bared fully to his heated gaze, eyes dark and fathomless. Around you the blossoms begin to fall in a whimsical flurry of petals. This is like a dream. The reality of you is sweeter than any dream. He sits back, twisting his hand to coax over a breeze, causing a flutter of petals to cascade across your bare skin. That tickles. Would you prefer this instead? He kisses a ticklish path down to your navel and hovers over where you burn for his touch, hot breath against you. Yep, there it is. Basically, there was a little bit of hands-mouth struggling because you get some fire thing, and then, you know, taking you. Anyway, Kieran nestles you against him, and you listen as his drumming heartbeat slowly returns to normal. Eli. His ageless eyes scour your soul, seeking something. What is it? You can trust me. You know that, don't you? A flash of melancholy passes, and he smiles, pressing a kiss to your forehead, but something seems changed and distant. Only thinking how I've not felt this at peace in an age, almost complete. Silence and chilled air settles over you. Kieran's body keeps you warm, but the glow of what you shared begins to fade, and an uneasy silence takes its place. The hour grows late. He pulls away, leaving you cold. You both rise, dressing, and try as you might, he will not meet your gaze again. We should return home. I suppose you're right. You've somehow become awkward and unsure of each other. Yeah, listen, that's what happens to a lot of young couples, you know, when they do their first bounce chicken wheel. He leads you back to the carriage and sees you inside, but doesn't join you. Wait, you're not coming? Suddenly remembering, you dig the glowing amulet from your pocket and hold it out to Kieran to see. Look, I got what we came for. We can both return to the palace. I will make my own way home. I need some time to consider what all this means. But he closes the door and walks away, pausing only to murmur to the horses. Take her home. Wait! But it's too late. The horses obey their master, sending you galloping off without him. Kieran. Wah, wah. Protective amulet at hand, it's time to face the mountain of beasts to find the peace of Kieran's heart. But what will happen when he realizes it's not truly the last one? Nothing will happen. Congratulations. Continue the book. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, Discord, if you'd like to support me and my content. Without further ado, let me say the following. It's been really hot, hasn't it? Like, seriously, real scorcher. It was like 110 here yesterday with the humidity, and guess what? I had no power. Yeah, no, didn't have power until, like, this morning, like, early this morning to this morning. It was real fun, so I've been really miserable, haven't really slept, and then, you know, the fact that, you know, humidity mixed with heat makes me not such a happy boy because of, you know, holy sweet breathing issue. Have really had to pace myself these last few days, and, you know, it's been tiring, let me put it that way. By the way, the reason why I lost power is because apparently AEP, the energy company, decided to willingly and intentionally turn off the power. No, I didn't stutter. Feel free to Google that and fact check it. But they intentionally turned off the power. Yeah. So, it'd be great if you guys would kind of like, I don't know, share that with friends, family, social media. Again, feel free to go fact check that, because it is 110% true. There are a couple articles about it from my local newspaper talking about it. And, yeah, it's pretty serious, you know, especially for a lot of other people who will not have power back on through some of the hottest temperatures on record that we've ever had, as we near 120 and so today. And a lot of people do not have any and all power until Friday. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with all of you. I'd also tell you what happened yesterday, but listen, you guys don't want to hear it. Maybe in the next video, so stay tuned. Peace out.